Question 7. We're asked to draw the graph of a half x take away 2. So we know a half x take away 2 looks something like this, crossing down here at -2, that point there being 4. And we're going to modulus it as well. And so the negative part, so we're not reflecting from here, we're reflecting from here. That goes up like that, and it now crosses here at 2. I'll get rid of that bit now. The other graph we're being asked about is y equals -2x. So that's just a straight line going through the origin here. And the gradient of this one is -2, much steeper than the gradient of that one there, which is just a half or -1/2. So y equals -2x is going to look something like this. And we can see, and that's the graph. The point of drawing the graph there is to see that it's actually going to cross down here somewhere. And clearly that crossing point is the left-hand side of the y-axis. The x value there is going to be negative. So now we're asked when these two are equal to each other. I'm going to do it wrong. So what you might think of doing is exactly what we did before. Just ignore the modulus sign. And then what's that going to give us? 2.5x equals 2, x equals 0.8. Does x look like it meets here at 0.8? That's not the right one. That's actually this point here. If you continued that down, that was the original crossing point. That isn't what we want. So what we're going to need is the other half of it. Multiply out the negative. I'll add the half x to both sides. And so I'm getting x is -4/3. Now that's better. -4/3 is to the left of the axis. And so this is the answer we want. So it highlights again how important the graph is and how important about checking these answers are going to be. Clearly, if you put 0.8 in there, you would get a negative value. And the modulus could never be negative like we hit in the previous, in 6c. But this one here, it does work. One thing you could do is you could just be doing this and make sure you always check at the end, or have a think about the graph. This branch here where it met was the graph we flipped up. That's why it was the one that needed the negative there.